What's up, everybody? My name's Dean Thomas, and welcome back to After Credit Movie Chats, and this week's edition of Rewind Reviews, where I simply review the movies I've watched over this past week, and most of them, almost all of them, are ones that have been out of theaters for quite a while, especially some of the ones today. On the slate for today is Wet Hot American Summer, 4-Year-Old Virgin, The Magnificent Seven, and Mud. Let's start with Wet Hot American Summer. They just came out with the new Netflix series, 8-episode series of Wet Hot American Summer that's actually a prequel to the movie. So I decided to sit down and watch that and found it just absolutely hilarious. And I brought back all the stars that were in the original one, which the original started a lot of the careers of some big people, including Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd, and even Bradley Cooper. And the movie is just laugh out loud funny. And I think you almost have to watch the prequel series because it adds just so much. Chris Maloney's character, who you may know as Elliot from Law & Order SVU, he was a colonel in Man of Steel, steals the show. In the movie, he's got a great character, but if you watch the show itself, it adds so much, and you just find his character, Jonas or Gene, just absolutely hilarious. Paul Rudd's great as always, and Bradley Cooper's got a really fun, small role in it, because it's a little bit hard to get Bradley Cooper in something right now. Overall, I would give Wet Hot American Summer, the movie, a 6 out of 10. I know that doesn't seem that high, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's laugh out loud funny at times, and especially watch the series before. It's only 8 episodes, so you should be able to get through it rather quickly, and it adds so much to the movie. Up next is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Sadly, I had never actually seen the movie up until now, or at least fully through. I had seen clips and pieces here on TV or at a friend's house or something like that, and I have to say, it had me dying at times, but other times I thought it was just alright. Really enjoyed the movie, but maybe because I had seen the clips and I had heard so much about it that there wasn't a surprise, there wasn't a shock value there. So maybe it underwhelmed for me just a little bit, but overall still very funny. I love Steve Carell. Not the biggest fan of Seth Rogen, but his character worked here. And Paul Rudd, again, steals the show as always. He is just hilarious in everything he does. And overall, I would give The 40-Year-Old Virgin a 7 out of 10 because I tell you, it had me just absolutely dying at times. And then other times it was actually just a decent story and whatnot. I know that's not what people are watching this movie for, but I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Thirdly, I watched The Magnificent Seven, the 1960s Magnificent Seven. And the reason I watched this is because I know Antoine Fuqua was directing the remake right now, and it comes out next year, I think late next year, starring like Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, and Chris Pratt. So I really like to watch the originals to see where the new one, how it spins off of it, how it takes it, because I bought True Grit recently, the Coen Brothers 2010 True Grit, and I went back and found the original on Netflix, and it adds a lot to see what they added, what they left out, how they reinterpreted some of the stuff. So I really wanted to watch the original Magnificent Seven, and I really liked it. It's a really well done Western, and the story's pretty simple, as seven kind of just on their own cowboys or even a little bit bounty hunters, not the greatest of people necessarily, come together to protect a small, poor village from a gang that kind of steals their food from the village in order for them to survive throughout the winter and really take advantage. So these guys kind of band together to protect the town. I just say the action's really well done. I wasn't expecting that as much from a movie made in 1960. And I also really come to like Westerns, and this was one that I really enjoyed and will probably keep me watching more and more as I go back and find some more. Magnificent Seven is a movie I really enjoyed just on its own, and now I'm really excited to see the new one. Because every time a character was on screen, like Steve McQueen, I'd never seen a movie of his, kept wondering, will this be Chris Pratt's character? Will this be Denzel Washington? Kept trying to figure out where that was. It'll be really interesting to see who plays which character in next year's remake. I give Magnificent Seven an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. And lastly, I watched Mud. This is a movie I found on Netflix last year, and it just surprised the heck out of me. I absolutely loved this movie. It's a very small movie starring Ty Sheridan, who we'll be seeing as young Cyclops in the upcoming X-Men Apocalypse, and also Matthew McConaughey, who plays Mud. And the reconnaissance is really started, and it continues to grow, because this movie he's fantastic in, and it's a really nice, small story. It revolves around Ty Sheridan and his friend Neckbone. It's Neckbone and Ellis. Neckbone's a weird name, I know, but it takes place in the backwoods of Arkansas. And these two, I think one of the reasons I like it is because these two kids, they're best friends, and they go out and do all these adventures over the summer, and they kind of get caught up in some things. But it kind of reminded me of like what me and my brother, or maybe some friends would do over the summer, these adventures, and you come back and be like, you know, don't tell mom and dad about this, or maybe we shouldn't tell anybody about this. Just because you were doing some things that maybe you weren't supposed to be doing, going places you weren't supposed to. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons this movie resonated with me. But it's a small story, and the cinematography, the way this movie is shot, is just absolutely beautiful. Really captures that area they're in, the backwoods of Arkansas. And also, it's just a really cool summer setting, end of summer setting, which is kind of one of the reasons I wanted to watch it as summer kind of comes to an end here. I hope I hope a lot more people check this out. I believe it's still on Netflix, and it revolves around these two kids who meet Mud, who's kind of a fugitive, who's staying on this island, who says he's waiting for his girlfriend, played by Reese Witherspoon. And the whole movie is really just about Ty Sheridan's character Ella's wanting to believe in just true, absolute love, but everywhere he goes, it seems to be falling apart, or it just isn't. Things aren't going quite well. So it's kind of his growing up. It's definitely a coming of age story, and one that I hope really takes off, because I think this is a movie a lot of people will enjoy. Small story, character driven. There's about one action scene in it total. It's a very brief one at the end. So it's a character driven story, and it's a really good one. I hope a lot of people can go check this movie out. I had to buy it because I liked it so much, and I just had to. I'm gonna watch this thing again and again. And Mud to me is actually, I don't think I've ever done this, but it's a 10 out of 10. I do not see a single thing wrong with this movie. The way the story unfolds, the screenplay, the way it's shot, just the performances. Ty Sheridan is great. I think the kid's got a really, really bright future ahead of him. And I don't see a problem. I just love this movie, so I have to go 10 out of 10. There's nothing I see wrong with it. And I think it does sit at a 98% Rotten Tomatoes, so a lot of people must agree with me. So I would really highly suggest out of any of these movies to watch Mud. I believe it is on Netflix. Well, there you have it, guys. There's this week's Rewind Reviews. I hope you keep checking in every week, because, I said this at the very first edition that I can't see every movie because, it's hard to afford all of that at this point in time as I'm a college student. So I assumed the way I would do this better was to rewind the movies I just watched over the week that have come out on DVD that I find on Netflix and Amazon Prime. So I hope that everybody enjoys that. Leave your comments about what you think of my ratings of these movies. Have you seen them? Will you see them now? Jump in on the comment section. Tweet us at AC Movie Chats on Twitter. Check out our website, aftercreditmoviechats.wordpress.com. Been getting some pretty good articles up there, like my most anticipated of September, and also my 10 most anticipated for the rest of the year, which a lot of people have actually been viewing, and I hope enjoying. Hopefully you're one of them, or you will be in the near future. Thanks for watching again, guys, and I hope everybody enjoys your Labor Day, or had enjoyed your Labor Day. Thanks.